Right now, as you read this, millions of families believe they are prepared for what is coming in 2026. They have filled their pantries with food they think will save them when the economy collapses and the shelves go empty. But here's the terrifying truth they do not know. Most of what they are stockpiling will fail them when they need it most. These foods will not keep them alive, will not protect their families. In fact, some of these popular survival foods are slowly setting them up for disaster. The crisis is closer than anyone wants to admit, and the clock is ticking. If you have been storing the wrong items, today's the day you find out, and today's the day you start fixing it before it is too late. Number 1, instant ramen. Walk into any pantry in America right now and you will find them stacked high on the shelves. Those colorful packages of instant ramen noodles that cost less than $1 each. Millions of families look at these cheap meals and think they have found the perfect survival food. They are affordable, they are easy to prepare, and they last for months or even years on the shelf. But what most people do not realize is that they are stockpiling a slow poison that will destroy their health. Exactly when they need their bodies to be strong. These convenient little packages are not food. They are sodium time bombs waiting to explode inside your body during the worst possible moment. Let me tell you what happens when you rely on instant ramen during a real crisis. Each package contains over 1,500 milligrams of sodium, and some brands contain more than 2,000 milligrams in a single serving. That is almost an entire day's worth of salt in one meal. Now imagine eating this not just once, but 2 or 3 times every single day for weeks or months, because that is all you have stockpiled. Your blood pressure starts climbing higher and higher. Your heart struggles to pump blood through vessels that are constricting from the salt overload. Your kidneys work overtime trying to filter the excess sodium, but they cannot keep up. You start retaining water, swelling up, feeling tired and weak. Headaches become constant. Your body is screaming for help, but there is no doctor to see, no hospital to visit, because the system has collapsed and you are on your own. The real nightmare begins when you realize that the sodium is just the beginning of the problem. Those flavor packets that make instant ramen taste so good are packed with artificial preservatives, chemical additives, and monosodium glutamate. These are not real ingredients. They are laboratory creations designed to trick your taste buds and preserve the product for years on a warehouse shelf. When you consume these chemicals day after day, your body starts breaking down. Some people get severe headaches. Others experience digestive problems that leave them cramped and miserable. Allergic reactions can develop. Inflammation spreads through your system. And all of this is happening while you are already dealing with the massive stress of an economic collapse and food shortage. History has shown us what happens when communities rely on cheap processed foods during hard times. We have seen entire populations suffer from malnutrition even though their stomachs were full. This is exactly what instant ramen does to you. It fills your belly with empty calories that provide almost zero real nutrition. There are barely any vitamins. There is almost no fiber. The protein content is laughable. What you are eating is refined white flour noodles soaked in chemical-laden salty water. Your body feels full for an hour or two, but at the cellular level, you are starving. Your immune system weakens. You become vulnerable to illness. Your energy drops. Your mind gets foggy. You are surviving, but you are not thriving. And in a true survival situation, that difference can mean everything. Think about what you are really buying when you stock up on instant ramen. You are spending your hard-earned money on food that will make you sick, weak, and vulnerable during the exact moment when you need to be healthy, strong, and alert. There are so many better options. Real pasta made from whole grains, dried noodles without chemical packets, quality ingredients that let you create actual nutritious meals. Yes, they cost a little more now. But the price you pay later for choosing cheap instant ramen is your health, and you cannot put a dollar amount on that. Hope is not a strategy. Wishing your instant ramen will somehow be okay is not a plan. The time to act is right now. Go to your pantry today, look at those colorful packages, and ask yourself if you are really prepared, or if you are just fooling yourself into a false sense of security that will crumble when the crisis hits. Number 2. Canned vegetables. There is a myth that almost everyone believes, and it is one of the most dangerous lies in the world of emergency preparedness. People look at rows of canned vegetables in their basement or pantry, and they feel safe. They feel prepared. They tell themselves that these cans will last forever, that metal and sealed containers mean their food is protected for years. maybe even decades. But the truth is far more frightening than most people are ready to accept. Those cans have a clock ticking inside them, and when that time runs out, what you thought was your safety net becomes a potential death trap sitting on your shelf. Let me tell you what really happens to canned vegetables over time. Yes, the can is sealed. Yes, it sits there looking perfectly fine from the outside. But inside that metal container, silent changes are taking place that you cannot see. The vitamins start breaking down month by month. Vitamin C disappears first. Then the B vitamins slowly fade away. The texture of the vegetables begins to deteriorate, turning from firm and edible to mushy and unappetizing. The colors change. Flavors go flat or develop strange metallic tastes. And this is happening even when the can looks completely normal from the outside. You open it 3 years after you bought it thinking everything is fine, and what you find inside is barely recognizable as food anymore. The nutrition you were counting on to keep your family healthy has vanished into thin air. But the real danger is not just lost nutrition. The real danger is what happens when the integrity of the can itself starts to fail. Every can has a seal, and that seal is not designed to last forever. Temperature changes in your storage area cause the metal to expand and contract. Humidity in the air leads to rust forming on the outside, and that rust slowly eats through to the inside. Physical damage from moving cans around or stacking them too high creates tiny weaknesses you cannot see. Over time, these small problems become big problems. The seal breaks, air gets inside, bacteria enters the can, and suddenly you have a breeding ground for botulism, one of the deadliest food poisonings known to humanity. Families have become seriously ill and even died from eating canned food they believed was safe. They looked at the can, saw no obvious bulging, smelled nothing terrible when they first opened it, and ate the contents anyway. Within hours, they were violently sick. In a normal situation, they could rush to a hospital and maybe survive with emergency treatment. But imagine this happening during a crisis when hospitals are overwhelmed or closed, when there are no doctors available, when you are completely on your own. That can of green beans you have been saving for 3 years could kill someone you love, and there would be nothing you could do to save them. The dates printed on cans are confusing on purpose. Manufacturers use terms like best by and use by. But these dates are conservative estimates based on perfect storage conditions that almost nobody actually has. If your garage gets hot in summer and cold in winter, your basement might be damp. These conditions accelerate the degradation process dramatically. A can marked good for 5 years might only be truly safe for 2 or 3 under real-world storage conditions. And most people never rotate their stock properly. They push the new cans to the back and forget about the old ones in front until years have passed, and they are holding something that should have been thrown away long ago. There are better ways to store vegetables for the long term. Freeze-dried vegetables retain 97% of their nutrients and last for 25 to 30 years when stored properly. Dehydrated vegetables offer excellent shelf life without the risks of metal cans and botulism. Home canning using proper pressure canning techniques gives you control and visibility that commercial cans never provide. But if you insist on keeping canned vegetables, then you must commit to a strict rotation system. Use the oldest first. Check every can carefully for bulging, rust, dents, or any sign of damage. When in doubt, throw it out, because the cost of being wrong is too high. Your stockpile is supposed to save your life, not end it. Right now, today, go check those cans. Look at the dates. Inspect them closely. Replace what needs replacing. Because discovering that your food storage has failed you during an actual emergency is a mistake you will not get a second chance to fix. Number 3. Commercial granola bars. They sit in checkout aisles everywhere, wrapped in bright packaging, covered with words like healthy and natural and wholesome. Commercial granola bars have convinced millions of people that they are making a smart choice for emergency food storage. Parents buy them by the box, thinking they are giving their families nutritious snacks that will sustain them during hard times. Preppers stack them in their pantries, believing these convenient bars will provide quick energy when it matters most. But strip away the clever marketing and look at what is really inside those wrappers. And you will discover one of the biggest nutritional lies being sold to unsuspecting families right now. These bars are not health food. They are candy bars disguised in earth-tone packaging. And relying on them during a crisis will destroy your energy, your health, and your ability to survive. Pick up any commercial granola bar and read the ingredient list carefully. Sugar appears in multiple forms, hidden under different names so you do not realize how much you are actually consuming. High fructose corn syrup, brown rice syrup, honey cane sugar, molasses, corn syrup solids. When you add up all these different sugars, many granola bars contain more sugar per ounce than a candy bar. Some contain over 12 grams of sugar in a single small bar. That is almost 3 teaspoons of pure sugar. The oats and grains that are supposed to make these bars healthy are held together with sticky sweeteners and artificial binding agents. The nuts are coated in sugar. Even the dried fruit pieces are sweetened beyond their natural sugar content. What you are eating is a sugar bomb with a few token healthy ingredients sprinkled in to justify the health claims on the package. Now, imagine what happens to your body when you rely on these sugar-loaded bars during a survival situation. You eat one and feel a quick rush of energy as your blood sugar spikes rapidly. For about 30 minutes, you feel alert and energized. But then the crash comes. Your blood sugar plummets. You feel exhausted, irritable, shaky, and hungrier than you were before you ate the bar. Your body screams for more sugar to bring your energy back up, so you eat another bar. And the cycle repeats itself over and over throughout the day. This blood sugar roller coaster is exactly what you do not need when you are facing the stress of an economic collapse or emergency situation. You need steady, sustained energy that keeps you thinking clearly and moving consistently. Instead, these bars give you spikes and crashes that leave you feeling worse than if you had eaten nothing at all. The damage goes deeper than just blood sugar problems. During high-stress situations, your body needs real nutrition to maintain your immune system, support your muscles, and keep your brain functioning properly. Commercial granola bars provide almost none of this. The processing destroys most of the nutrients. The protein content is minimal. Fiber is often added artificially rather than coming from whole grains. The healthy fats that your body needs are replaced with processed oils that go rancid quickly. And speaking of going rancid, those bars have a much shorter real shelf life than people realize. The oils in the nuts and seeds oxidize within months, creating off flavors and potentially harmful compounds. The bars become stale and hard. They might not make you sick, but they certainly will not provide the nutrition you are counting on. Real survival nutrition comes from foods that provide sustained energy without the sugar crash. Homemade energy bars made with whole oats, real nuts, seeds, minimal natural sweeteners give you actual nutrition that supports your body during stress. Pemmican, the traditional survival food of indigenous peoples, combines dried meat and fat in a way that provides dense calories and protein without any sugar at all. Quality jerky offers pure protein. Properly packaged nuts and seeds give you healthy fats and sustained energy. These options cost more upfront, but they actually work when you need them, unlike the sugar-coated lies sitting in those bright wrappers. Every dollar you spend on your stockpile matters. Every inch of storage space is precious. Wasting either one on foods that will fail you is not just foolish, it is dangerous. Those commercial granola bars are taking up space that should be filled with real food that actually supports survival. They are stealing money you could invest in nutrition that genuinely helps your family. Right now, before the crisis hits, you have the power to make better choices. Look at your stockpile. Count how many boxes of granola bars you have stored. Read the ingredient lists. See how much sugar you are really planning to feed your family during the worst time of their lives. And then make the decision to replace those sugar-coated lies with foods that will truly keep you strong, healthy, and ready to face whatever comes next. Number 4. Boxed pasta with flavoring packets. Walk down the pasta aisle in any grocery store, and you will see them stacked high. Those colorful boxes promising quick, easy, delicious meals in just minutes. Macaroni and cheese, pasta sides with Alfredo sauce, noodles with creamy chicken flavoring. Families load their carts with these boxes thinking they are getting affordable, shelf-stable meals perfect for emergency storage. The boxes are light, they stack neatly, and the price seems unbeatable. But inside those convenient packages is a chemical cocktail that most people never think twice about. Those little flavoring packets are not food. They're a mixture of artificial ingredients, heavy preservatives, and laboratory-created compounds designed to sit on shelves for years without rotting. And when you eat them day after day during an extended crisis, you're slowly poisoning yourself and everyone you are trying to protect. Let me tell you what is really inside those flavoring packets. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment on a sodium glutamate to trick your taste buds into thinking the food tastes better than it actually does. Artificial colors made from petroleum derivatives that have been linked to behavioral problems in children and health issues in adults. Hydrogenated oils that contain trans fats your body cannot process properly. Sodium levels that rival the worst instant ramen, sometimes reaching over 800 milligrams in a single serving of just the flavoring packet. Artificial flavors created in laboratories to mimic real cheese, real chicken, real butter, but containing none of the actual ingredients they are supposed to taste like. These packets are not designed with your health in mind. They're designed for one purpose only: to make cheap pasta taste like something worth eating while lasting forever on a shelf. Now imagine what happens when you consume these chemicals regularly during a crisis situation. In normal times, when you eat a boxed pasta meal once in a while, your body can handle the chemical load. Your liver processes the additives. Your kidneys filter out the excess sodium. Your system recovers before you eat it again. But during an extended emergency, when you are eating these boxed meals 2 or 3 times a day, because that is what you stockpiled, your body never gets a break. The chemicals accumulate. The sodium builds up. People start experiencing headaches that will not go away. Digestive problems become constant. Inflammation spreads through the body. Some people develop allergic reactions to the artificial ingredients. Others find themselves retaining water, feeling bloated and uncomfortable. And all of this is happening while you are already dealing with the massive stress of a collapsed economy, potential food shortages, and the fear that comes with true crisis situations. The real tragedy is that these boxed meals create a dependency that is hard to break. The artificial flavors are designed to be more intense than real food. They hijack your taste buds and train your brain to expect these extreme flavors. After eating artificially flavored pasta for weeks, real food tastes bland and boring. Fresh vegetables seem flavorless. Simply seasoned meals feel unsatisfying. You have trained yourself to crave the chemical intensity, and now your body rejects the real nutrition it actually needs. This is not an accident. Food manufacturers know exactly what they are doing. They are creating products that are addictive by design, and you are falling into the trap every time you add another box to your stockpile. Look closely at the pasta itself in these boxes. It is almost always made from refined white flour, stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. What you are left with is empty carbohydrates that spike your blood sugar, provide minimal nutrition, and leave you feeling hungry again within hours. Small amount of protein listed on the label usually comes from the powdered milk solids in the flavoring packet, not from any real nutritional source. You are essentially eating refined flour mixed with chemicals and calling it a meal. During a survival situation, when every calorie needs to count and every meal needs to provide genuine nutrition, these boxed pasta dishes are failing you completely. There is a better way to stockpile pasta for emergencies. Buy plain dried pasta made from whole grains, or at least from quality durum wheat. Stock real ingredients for making sauces, dried tomatoes that you can rehydrate, real herbs and spices that add flavor without chemicals, bouillon cubes made from actual meat or vegetables, not artificial flavors, powdered cheese made from real dairy, not chemical compounds, olive oil or other quality fats stored properly. With these real ingredients, you can create genuinely nutritious pasta meals that taste good, provide real nutrition, and do not slowly poison you with every bite. Yes, it requires a bit more effort than just boiling water and dumping in a flavor packet. But survival has never been about taking the easiest path. It has always been about making the smart choices that actually work when everything else fails. Those boxed pasta meals are not smart choices. They are convenient traps that look appealing now, but will betray you later. Clear them out of your stockpile today. Place them with real ingredients that deserve a place in your emergency food storage. Your body will thank you when the crisis comes and you are eating real food instead of chemical experiments disguised as dinner. Number 5. Cheap cooking oils. There is something sitting in pantries across America right now that almost nobody is thinking about. But it might be one of the most dangerous items in their entire food stockpile. Large bottles of cheap cooking oil purchased in bulk because they were on sale, stacked on shelves because people assume oil lasts forever. Vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil. These clear, golden liquids look perfectly stable and harmless. They do not mold like bread or spoil like milk, so people forget about them for months or even years. But inside those plastic bottles, a silent chemical reaction is happening that transforms what was once food into something toxic. These oils are breaking down, oxidizing, going rancid, and creating compounds that damage your body at the cellular level. And the terrifying part is that most people cannot even tell when it has happened. Let me explain what happens to cheap cooking oils over time. These oils are highly processed and contain large amounts of polyunsaturated fats, which sound healthy but are actually incredibly unstable. The moment these oils are exposed to light, heat, or oxygen, which happens constantly even sitting on a shelf, the fat molecules begin breaking apart. They oxidize and form peroxides and aldehydes, which are toxic compounds linked to inflammation, heart disease, cellular damage, and even cancer. The oil might still look clear, it might pour normally, but chemically, it is transformed from food into poison. Some rancid oils develop an obvious off-smell, like paint or crayons or old nuts, while others have a bitter or metallic taste. But many times the rancidity is mild enough that people do not notice it, or they notice something is slightly off, but use the oil anyway because they do not want to waste it or they do not have anything else. Now imagine what happens during an extended crisis when you are cooking with rancid oil every single day. You are frying your potatoes in it. You are using it to saute your vegetables. You are baking with it. Every meal you prepare becomes a delivery system for toxic, oxidized fats that your body has to deal with. Your cells are under attack. Inflammation spreads through your system. Your arteries are being damaged. Your risk of heart problems increases. Your immune system becomes compromised trying to handle the constant chemical assault. And this is happening during a time when you need your body to be strong and resilient, not weak and inflamed. The cheap oil you thought was saving you money is actually stealing your health. Here is what makes this even worse. Most cheap vegetable oils are already partially rancid before you even buy them. The high heat processing they go through to extract oil from soybeans, corn, or canola seeds damages the fats from the very beginning. Then the oil sits in clear plastic bottles under bright supermarket lights for weeks or months before you purchase it. By the time it reaches your pantry, the oxidation process is already well underway. The expiration date on the bottle is almost meaningless because it assumes perfect storage conditions that never exist in real homes. Your pantry gets warm in summer. Light streams through windows. Air enters the bottle every time you open it to use some. All of these things accelerate the breakdown of the oil, and that best buy date becomes worthless. Most people never even check their stored cooking oil for signs of rancidity. They bought it, put it on the shelf, and forgot about it. Go right now and smell your stored vegetable oils. Really smell them. If there is any hint of a crayon-like smell, any bitterness, any off odor at all, that oil is rancid and you need to throw it away immediately. Look at the color too. Has it darkened? Does it look thicker or cloudier than when you bought it? These are all signs that the oil has degraded. And if you have been storing that oil for more than a year, especially in less than ideal conditions, the chances are very high that it is no longer safe to consume, no matter what the bottle says. The solution is not to avoid oils completely, because healthy fats are essential for survival and nutrition. The solution is to stockpile the right kinds of fats that are actually stable for long-term storage. Coconut oil is incredibly stable and lasts for years without going rancid. Extra virgin olive oil, when stored in dark glass bottles away from heat and light, remains good for a long time. Ghee, which is clarified butter with the milk solids removed, can last for years at room temperature. Animal fats like lard and tallow are far more stable than processed vegetable oils and have been used for long-term storage. Throughout human history, these traditional fats cost more up front, but they actually protect your health instead of destroying it. Think about this carefully. Everything you cook touches your cooking oil. Every meal you make for your family involves fat in some way. If that fat is rancid and toxic, then everything you eat becomes contaminated. You can have the best vegetables, the highest quality grains, the freshest meat, but if you cook it all in rancid oil, you are poisoning every bite. This is not an exaggeration. This is basic chemistry and biology. Your stockpile is only as good as the ingredients you choose to fill it with. Right now, before the crisis forces your hand, you have the opportunity to make the right choice. Throw away those giant bottles of cheap vegetable oil. Invest in stable traditional fats that will actually support your health for years to come. Your future self, cooking meals during an emergency and staying healthy instead of sick, will be grateful that you made this decision today while you still had the choice. Number 6. Powdered drink mixes. There is a brightly colored section in almost every prepper's pantry that looks cheerful and reassuring. Rows of powdered drink mixes in every flavor imaginable. Lemonade, fruit punch, iced tea, energy drinks, vitamin-enhanced waters, all promising to make emergency water supplies more palatable and even healthier. Families stockpile these thinking they are solving two problems at once, making stored water taste better and adding nutrition to their crisis diet. The containers are covered with pictures of fresh fruit and promises of vitamins and electrolytes. Parents feel good knowing their children will drink enough water during emergencies, because these colorful drinks make hydration fun. But peel back the marketing and look at what is actually inside these bright packages, and you will discover another dangerous deception. These are not hydration solutions. They're chemical cocktails that actually make dehydration worse while damaging your health with every artificially colored sip. Let me tell you what you are really drinking when you mix these powders into your emergency water supply. The first ingredient after sugar is almost always artificial colors. Brilliant blue dye number 1, red dye 40, yellow dye 5. These are petroleum-based chemicals that have been linked to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and potential long-term health problems. They serve absolutely no purpose except to make the drink look appealing, yet you are consuming them with every glass. Next come the artificial flavors, chemical compounds created in laboratories to mimic the taste of real fruit without using any actual fruit. Then you find the preservatives, the anti-caking agents, the artificial sweeteners, in sugar-free versions that disrupt your gut bacteria and mess with your metabolism. What you do not find in most of these mixes is any real nutrition worth mentioning. Now think about what happens to your body when you rely on these drink mixes during a crisis. Many of them contain almost as much sugar as soda. Single serving can have 25 grams of sugar or more. It is more than 6 teaspoons of pure sugar in one glass. When you drink this, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, and your body responds by pulling water from your cells to help process all that sugar. You actually become more dehydrated than you were before you drank it. Then you feel thirsty again, so you mix another glass, and the cycle continues. You are drinking constantly, but your body is struggling to stay properly hydrated because the sugar and sodium in these mixes are working against you. In the versions that use artificial sweeteners to avoid sugar, studies show these chemicals can increase cravings, disrupt hunger signals, and even cause digestive problems that lead to diarrhea, which causes dangerous dehydration during emergencies when clean water might already be limited. The sodium content in many powdered drink mixes is shockingly high, sometimes hundreds of milligrams per serving. Combined with the sugar or artificial sweeteners, you are creating a perfect storm of ingredients that increase thirst rather than quenching it. Your body needs genuine hydration during crisis situations. Clean water with natural electrolytes from real sources like sea salt, not chemical-laden colored sugar water. The irony is painful. People stockpile these mixes thinking they are encouraging hydration, when in reality, they are making proper hydration harder to achieve and training their taste buds to reject plain water, which is exactly what they need most. Think about children specifically, because this is where the damage becomes even more concerning. Kids who are used to drinking brightly colored sweet drinks will refuse plain water during emergencies. They will complain it tastes boring. They will not drink enough. Parents will panic and give in, mixing more of the chemical drinks because at least the kids are drinking something. But those artificial dyes have been shown to cause behavioral problems, difficulty concentrating, and hyperactivity in sensitive children. During a crisis situation when you need your children calm, focused, and cooperative, the last thing you want is to be pumping them full of chemicals that make them bounce off the walls. And the tooth decay that comes from constant sugary drink consumption becomes a serious medical emergency when dentists are unavailable and you have no way to treat cavities or infections. The citric acid in most of these drink mixes is another hidden problem nobody talks about. It makes the drinks taste tangy and fresh, but it also erodes tooth enamel with every sip. Drink these mixes regularly for months during an extended crisis, and you are looking at serious dental damage that could lead to infections, which can become life-threatening when medical care is not accessible. Your teeth are not just about appearance, they're essential tools for eating and survival. Destroying them with acidic sugar water disguised as healthy hydration is a mistake you cannot afford to make. There are real solutions for hydration that do not involve chemical cocktails. Natural electrolyte solutions made with real sea salt, a touch of honey, and fresh lemon juice provide genuine hydration support. Storing vitamin C powder separately lets you add real nutrition without artificial ingredients. Herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, and hibiscus can be dried and stored for years, offering flavor and genuine health benefits. Even simple fruit crystals made from real dehydrated fruit provide natural flavor without the chemical overload. These options require learning to appreciate subtler flavors and retraining. Taste buds away from the artificial intensity of commercial drink mixes, but that retraining is exactly what you need for long-term survival. The foundation of all survival is clean water. Not colored water, not flavored water, not vitamin-enhanced chemical water. Just clean, pure water that your body can actually use for hydration. Every survival expert will tell you the same thing. Water is the most critical resource you can stockpile. But stockpiling water means nothing if you train yourself and your family to reject it in favor of artificial alternatives. Teaching your children to drink plain water now, before the crisis hits, is one of the most valuable survival skills you can give them. Making peace with the taste of pure water instead of always reaching for flavor packets is preparing yourself mentally and physically for reality. This chapter connects directly to everything you have learned in this entire script. Every single food item we have discussed follows the same pattern. Cheap, convenient, heavily marketed products that promise easy solutions but deliver hidden dangers. Instant ramen, promising affordable meals but poisoning you with sodium. Canned vegetables, promising long shelf life but hiding degradation and contamination risks. Granola bars, promising healthy snacks but crashing your blood sugar. Boxed pasta, promising quick dinners but loading you with chemicals. Right. Cheap oils, promising cooking convenience but going rancid and toxic. And now powdered drink mixes promising better hydration but actually making it worse. The pattern is unmistakable. The food industry is not designing products for your survival. They are designing products for their profit, and those two goals are often completely opposite. Real preparedness means seeing through the marketing lies and making hard choices based on truth instead of convenience. It means spending more money now on quality items that actually work instead of cheap substitutes that fail when you need them most. It means learning skills like making your own electrolyte solutions and flavoring water naturally instead of depending on commercial chemical mixes. It means teaching your family to appreciate real food and real water instead of training them to crave artificial intensity. These choices are not easy. They require effort, education, and investment. But they are the only choices that will actually keep you alive and healthy when 2026 arrives and the crisis everyone has been warned about finally becomes reality. You have seen the truth now. 6 popular foods that millions are stockpiling right now. Every single one of them will fail when the crisis hits in 2026. Instant ramen poisoning you with sodium. Canned vegetables hiding dangerous expiration realities. Granola bars crashing your energy. Boxed pasta meals filled with chemicals. Cheap oils turning toxic on your shelves. Powdered drinks making dehydration worse. These are not solutions. They're problems disguised as preparation. The choice is yours today. Keep filling your pantry with foods that will betray you, or make the hard decisions now while you still can. Replace the lies with real nutrition. Build a stockpile that actually works, because hope is not a strategy, and tomorrow might already be too late. Your family's survival depends on the choices you make right now, in this moment. Do not wait. Start today.